Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Jalen Neal. Welcome to Season 5 of The Current. On today's episode, we'll be discussing Wilmington's film industry with our special guest, Michael Delano, a senior here at UNCW Film Studies Department.
Once known as the acclaimed Hollywood East, the film industry in Wilmington is on the rise again after a brief lull period. With Netflix shows and other blockbusters regularly filming in the port city, students at UNCW are trying all they can to get involved in the competitive industry that is movie and television production. One of these students, Michael Delano, has gone as far as taking the experience he's gained from working on various film sets and applying it to his own creative endeavors. Michael has a short film named Counselor debuting on October 14th. And he's joining us today on The Current to talk about what his work on the film entailed. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Michael.
I'm Michael Delano. I'm a senior at UNCW. I'm in film with a creative writing minor. What else do you want to know?
Well, yeah, I mean, how did you end up at UNCW? Why here?
Well, I grew up in New Bern, and so it was kind of the closest place nearby for film. Was UNCW. It was either here or UNCSA, and I heard so much about the amount of work that had happened in the past in Wilmington, and so I was like, okay, that's probably the place to go.
Definitely, and the program here is, I know they've been getting a lot of money put into it recently. They've got a new studio and stuff built. What does your work within the program look like at the school?
Within the program, it's kind of weird because we have a balance of studies and production, which I love both, but really we seem to emphasize the studies side more.
It is film studies.
Yeah, but yeah, so honestly, as far as on campus for classes, there's not a huge amount that I do production-wise. Most of it's either with a club or outside doing my own stuff or working on big sets. Rather than anything confined to here.
Definitely. Well, that's good. It's good not to put yourself in a box, with the projects that you can work on. Has film always been the goal? Has that always been what you wanted to do, or is it more of a last minute choice sort of thing? Or?
It's not always. It kind of started in sophomore year of high school. I got really into the It movie was coming out, and I was a huge fan of the old miniseries, and so I started looking at all of the behind-the-scenes pictures and everything, and got really involved in that community, and found it really interesting. So I was I want to be involved in that.
And was it always did you want to be a director, or a writer, or an actor? Or?
Initially, director was kind of where I wanted to be, and that's changed since then. It's kind of I still love directing, but I also love lighting, and I love working as an AD as well, kind of managing everything behind the scenes, making sure that everything moves along properly.
Getting experience in all those areas too probably helps you a lot with your own projects because you know what's going on with all the different jobs, so you can kind of be that all-in-one director too.
Yeah, you kind of get that opportunity to work with everyone rather than telling them what you need and then they do it for you. You can kind of be okay, well, I have a suggestion as far as how we light this, or we need to worry about how we're getting sound for this shot. All of those things I'm able to kind of think about because I've worked in all of those places.
Definitely, yeah. You're not just sitting in your director's chair with the megaphone, right, yelling at people as they walk by and what to do now. I know that Wilmington used to be, you probably would have found a lot of people like that a few years ago, a decade ago, whenever a lot of films were coming here, like Hunger Games and Iron Man 3 and a lot of big blockbusters like that. But I know it took a big downfall, but you've said that it's on the rise again.
Yes, it absolutely is. We, since coming back from lockdown or the pandemic, there's been so much coming into town. We had, currently we have 3 shows going, and I think at some point we had 4 or 5 last year, all going at once. And I believe that Wilmington can effectively house 5 union shows at once, I think is what they estimate. So we're kind of getting back into that rhythm where there's always something for film people to do.
So what was your experience getting on the sets like? Like, who did you have to talk to? Did you join a union or?
Well, initially I started out doing background work. In one of my early film classes, it was recommended that I go and work on Reprisal was the first show. And so I did 1 day on Reprisal, and then I kept on getting casting notifications until I did Along for the Ride for Netflix. And I met the background PA on there, started talking. I got his phone number. We met up a little bit later to kind of discuss projects, get an idea of what it was that he did. And then a few months later, I just get a random call, and it's like, hey, do you want to work as a PA? Because he'd put my name out there. And it really is just like a name game where you meet one person, they know another person, they're working on a set, and they're like, okay, we need someone. And then as long as you're in someone's phone, you're going to get a call.
Yeah, the artistic community is always a small world in every field. So it's good to hear that even in the film industry where it feels like it's not even all happening here, that you can still have a good community that wants to rope in new people and get people involved.
I think especially Wilmington is nice because it's such a tight-knit community, and we had that lull, and so everyone kind of came together and everyone knows each other.
They want to see it grow too.
Exactly. And so you have all those people who really want to help each other out, and if they like you, they'll keep calling you back. It's not as much about what your ability is necessarily, as much as are you fun to work with? Because you're going to be on set for 12, 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
You want to be with people that you like. And so inversely, that's really scary for people that you don't like, and they're like, you kind of just need to find a new place. But it's really nice to just kind of have those same people, and you'll get a new show and be like, who am I going to see this time? Who do I recognize?
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Well, that's awesome. You've had a lot of experience on professional sets, but let's talk about some of your personal work. Tell me about Counselor.
So Counselor is a project that I started working on senior year of high school, actually. I wrote out the script initially in one night. I just kind of spat out 20 pages and I just left it because I was like, I don't have the ability to make this at this point. I don't have the equipment that I need. I don't have the location access. So I'm gonna hold off until I have more knowledge about that. And so last year I ended up finally being like, okay, I'm ready. And so we went about the process of getting our location for our first day. Went out on Johnny Mercer's Pier one night and just shot through 2 or 3 pages. And then with it being an indie shoot, we kind of had to wait until a month or 2 later to get our second bit of shooting, which was in a school. At which point we had to just really push because it was we had a small window, school was in session, so we had to do one weekend and we just shot through the other 20 pages. And then since then I've just been tweaking it, editing it, and it's finally ready.
Before we begin, I'm required to ask you if you're aware and okay with us filming this.
Yes.
Please state your name and age.
I'm Emily McKessie, and I'm 17 years old.
And Emily, are you depressed?
Yes.
And you have been suicidal in the past.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. It started with a simple note in my locker.
It looked like an official note from the school. I assumed that everyone got one.
It said, going through some tough times, call our new at-home 24/7 counseling line.
I told him everything, and he listened. He made me feel like I had a friend for the first time in forever.
Did you know Jessica Ostin?
She's the girl that killed herself, isn't she? Do you think this is connected?
How did you get your actors and your production people and the people that wanted to see the movie succeed? Was it more of a friendship thing, or did they have something in it for them, or they just want to work on it with you?
A lot of the people I met through Flickr, which is an on-campus group. I was president of that last year, and so I kind of had a lot of people there that I got to know. I knew that I enjoyed working with them. I knew that they had their own skill sets. And so I kind of grabbed from there. I grabbed from other productions that I helped out on, and it really is like a situation where, especially on an indie level, there's that idea of like, you do someone a favor, they do a favor for you, like they offer one back. And so like, for example, we had on a $500 budget, we were able to bring in equipment from a local production company to like actually kind of bump up that production value, because we had like a gaffer on set who had that connection. And so it was kind of like bringing all those people together. And then on the casting side, it was a lot of friends. And it initially, I wanted it to kind of expand to outside of that friend group. And so I was doing like Facebook casting calls. And then I was also at the same time sending those casting calls to my friends and being like, hey, if you want to go ahead and try out. And I ended up finding out that a lot of my friends are very talented.
Yeah.
And so I ended up, a lot of those people ended up being the ones that I cast. And I could not be more impressed by what they pulled off.
Yeah. I'm really glad it worked out for you. It seems like all the pieces came together.
Thank you.
Yeah. What's up next? What's going on with Michael? Next project? Now school or?
Lots of school. It's
You're a senior, right?
Yeah, I'm a senior, so just kind of finishing up those last few classes and then finding the opportunity to like work on any bigger sets that I can in between. And then right now it's just writing. I've got like a few different ideas that I'm like, I want to make something just to like have some big finale to my time here where I'm like able to put out something that I'm really proud of. But yeah, it's kind of a low point right now as far as just like building back up to start the next thing.
Yeah. Well, you also just did,
Exactly.
You just finished, so take your victory lap, right? You're just seeing what comes up next. So that's good. I'm happy for you. Hopefully, all your creative endeavors succeed. I know we were talking a little bit before, but I'm a little bit out of the loop with film. But what's the best movie that you've seen recently?
Barbarian, no question.
And what's that about?
It's the type of thing that honestly, like it's a lot. The simple concept is a woman goes to an Airbnb and finds out that it's been double booked, and she ends up staying the night with this random guy, and it ends up being a horror movie. But it's so much more than that, and it's like the type of thing that you really just need to like go in, watch the trailer, and then just go into the movie expecting that trailer and be surprised by what you come out with.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that there's really good movies out. I know sometimes it feels like they're just putting a bunch of random stuff on our faces, so it's good that you can see some art pieces come out every once in a while. But I know that with a lot of movies, there comes a lot of opinions. And we're going to play a quick game, if you don't mind, that we love here in the studio called Good or Sucks.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Welcome to WaveWatch. While they set up for our interactive segment, I wanted to give some background information on Wilmington film industry. The Cucalores Film Festival is back in Wilmington for its 28th year. This year's festival will showcase over 90 films and will have several conversations concerning social justice. The festival will kick off on November 16th and will go until the 20th. Tickets are on sale now. Film screenings will take place at Thalian Hall on campus. Film has been a very big part of Wilmington's culture. Some big movies you may recognize, like Iron Man 3, The Conjuring, and Tammy, have had scenes filmed here in Wilmington. Happening here at UNCW is the active operation of the Flicker Film Society, a group of talented students who produce original films from start to finish. Students interested in script writing, acting, cinematography, tech support, and marketing, and many more have a great outlet in Flicker for hands-on experience. Flicker Film Society was born in 2004 and has a strong affiliation with UNCW's Department of Film Studies. Flicker Film Society sponsors a 48-hour video race and Real Till Film Festival, open to student filmmakers everywhere. Back to you, Graham and Michael.
Now we're going to play a really fun game called Good or Sucks. We're going to put a picture on the screen of a still from a movie you've seen before, and it's your job to tell us if it's good or sucks. Okay. Feel free to play along at home. First up, what do we got? Pulp Fiction, good or sucks?
Oh, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Not a fan.
It kind of sucks.
Oh, why?
I don't know. I never got the hype behind it. I feel like the fact that it was like an unconventional narrative is about all it has going for it.
Okay.
And like I'm, in general, not a huge, like I enjoy Tarantino's more recent stuff, but his early stuff I couldn't get behind.
Okay. So no interesting characters, like, no like fun scenes or no good writing to take away from it?
The writing is fantastic. Tarantino's writing is always amazing, but it's just not very memorable to me.
All right, we're starting off with some hot takes coming in here. Michael's saying Pulp Fiction sucks. Let's see the next one. Iron Man 3. Good or sucks?
Is that Iron Man 3?
I think so, yeah. It's Iron Man 3. Good or sucks?
I haven't seen Iron Man 3.
Well,
So-
let me answer it for you. It sucks.
Okay, cool.
Next one. Titanic. Good or sucks?
I don't remember enough of it. Like, I think that I liked it, but it's very, I think that the spectacle of it is really, really impressive. And I think that that's pretty common with everything that James Cameron does. Like, it's all about, like, the spectacle rather than necessarily being about that story.
Yeah.
And so I think from a spectacle standpoint, it's fantastic. But
They built their own camera for it. Yeah.
yeah.
But other than that, it's too long. Sucks. Next movie. Midsummer. Good or sucks?
I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
Very good.
It's a good movie.
It's, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the director's cut significantly more.
I didn't see it.
It's worth watching. It's a lot longer, but it adds in a lot of like night scenes into it, which I think that the idea behind it was they wanted to like have that type of horror movie where it's just all during the day. I think that was their selling point, and I think they sacrificed a lot of really good scenes because of that. Because all of those night scenes, like they add in like a lot more to like the depth of that relationship and really like seeing it crumbling.
Good
And that's
characters.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Florence Pugh.
Oh yeah.
She's great.
Will Poulter.
Good movie. Will Poulter. Good. Yeah. I've been told I look like him. Next movie. Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Good or sucks? Don't say you haven't seen it.
No, of course I've seen it, but this is a hot take. I don't like it as much as the other ones.
Really?
I don't. I think that out of at least the first 3, I think it's the weakest.
Okay.
Very hot take, I feel.
It
I
is a
still
hot
love
take,
it,
yeah.
but like it's just not.
So the Ewoks are just doing it for you in Episode 6 or something?
I heard the laugh way back there. But no, yeah, I love Endor. Like everything that happens on Endor, I feel like it was just so much more like fun.
Okay.
As far like it was a fun transition from Empire Strikes Back, which is probably it's definitely the darkest out of that trilogy.
Definitely, yeah.
And like having that jump is nice.
Well, heard it here first. Michael doesn't like the Womp Rats. This has been Good or Sucks. I'm Graham. This is Michael. That's all we got for you today.
Thank you all for watching, and thank you, Michael, for joining us today. Check out his new film, Counselor, on YouTube, streaming October 14th. Stay tuned for future episodes of The Current and have a teal-tastic day.